Simple ionic compounds. Simple ionic compounds consist of a cation and anion. A cation is normally metal and have a positive combining capacity such as sodium. An anion is normally a nonmetal and has a negative combining capacity such as chlorine. When forming an ionic bond, the cation will lose electrons and the anion will gain electrons. When going from a chemical formula to name, first write the name of the cation and then the anion. Change the end of the anion to "ide", example, chlorine to chloride. When you are doing chemical name to formula, first you write the cation symbol and anion symbol and their combining capacity. Then draw out each symbol with as many hands as their combining capacity. Connect all hands until all the hands are filled. Count how many elements you have and write them as a subscript. Example, CaCl2. Transition metals are different because they all have different combining capacities. An example is iron with +3 and +2.
Covalent bonds are different. Instead of taking or losing electrons, all the electrons are shared between the two atoms. Covalent bonding is the sharing of electrons between atoms. These are usually done between nonmetals. Instead of writing Cl2 for 2-chlorine, you would write dichloride. For 1, you would write mono, 2, you would write di, 3 is tri, 4, tetra, 5, penta, 6, hexa, 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, and 10 is deca. When going from a chemical name, such as carbon dioxide, to a chemical formula, first you have to find if the first element has a prefix or not. Second, you have to look at this element and determine if it needs a prefix. If there's 2 chlorides, you would say dichloride. And at the end, you would write the first element, then the second element. If you are going from a chemical formula to a chemical name, like CO, first, you would determine the number of atoms in the first element. If there's only 1, you don't add a prefix. Then, you need to find out how many atoms the second element has and determine if it needs a prefix. If there's only 1, you would put mono. Then, you would write the first element, then you would write the second element.